The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. Our ACC tip-off coverage continues from here in Charlotte. We have a member of the NC State Wolfpack, Casey Morsell, a senior guard, stopping by now. Casey, first of all, thank you very much for taking the time.
Thank you.
We were talking with your coach earlier, and we talked with DJ Burns earlier, and so much of those conversations deal with kind of the uniqueness of DJ Burns, both as a personality and as a player. And Coach Keats brought up that, you know, a lot of the youth basketball and the development of basketball doesn't include like post-entry passes, and it's all pick and roll and it's all pick and pop. Does it take you a while to get used to playing with a magnetic kind of gravitational force down in the post like DJ?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely took time, especially last year when because that wasn't our identity initially. And he was kind of a guy that we should just throw him in just for quick baskets. We need a good 15 minutes from him. And when Deshaun went out, we had to then he ended up having to be in a position where he's playing 30-35 minutes. So we had to learn quickly. But luckily we kind of adjusted on the fly. We figured out different areas that he likes in terms of even when he catches it. Where he's looking, where he likes to look. So all of that stuff just came with just constant reps in practice because in the game we had to be playing at a high level.
and then kind of the modern basketball element of it is the shooting. That's where you come in.
Yeah.
As one of the guys dependent upon to space the floor, how does that change your role?
Yeah. Well, I think that all also comes from getting to know DJ, right? Like I think because when he does dribble and back his and make and create space, he is always constantly looking to find guys, and I always kind of know exactly where he likes to throw it, and that's kind of what led to me kind of getting a lot of open shots last year. But this year, especially now because we are missing T and Jarkel, the identity has to be a little different on the offensive end in order for our whole team to be successful.
You bring up T and Jarkel. Again, we were talking with Coach Keats earlier, and he brought up not the lack of, but the vacating leadership from those two guys, right? When they move on, he said, sometimes he talks about him so much you guys might get tired of it. And I asked him, I said, who do you think is stepping up into that leadership role? And you were the first name he mentioned. He said that has to fall on Casey Morsell. What does that mean to you that you have those shoes to fill, but also that coach thinks you're the guy to fill
them? Well, I mean, I would say even last year, I would say a lot of the, I had a bigger leadership role, especially from day one in terms of hosting and bringing Jarkel, Jack, DJ, Deshaun, all of those guys in. So I was the guy to kind of like show them around and everything. And this year it's kind of similar with a whole new group coming in as well. So I mean, I guess in terms of, I would say, I've got to be more of a threat on the offensive end. Definitely have to be more aggressive. And I think that's kind of the biggest area of my game that I kind of made the improvement in is, playmaking, setting guys up. Because like you said, I mean, that is vacant, for us. And that's what this team needs in order to be successful.
You brought up how you were kind of the guy to welcome in some of the transfers as a transfer yourself, but also now having filled that role one time. How do you do it, right? 7 new guys this year. How do you not have like the old heads versus the new guys? How do you not let that happen?
Yeah, man. I mean, everyone's different, man. I think it all starts with knowing who they are as people off the court, right? I think, basketball is just a small percentage of, who the individual is. So if you can figure out who they are and what they like and, how to talk to them, how to communicate, those simple details matter in terms of winning. And that's kind of been the approach I've kind of had is how, what do they like? What makes them uncomfortable? What, what I mean? And then once you kind of figure that out, then everything all comes together slowly, but it takes time. Chemistry just isn't something that's built overnight.
Outside of basketball, and this goes into kind of that camaraderie building. Yep. What's the game on the road? What are you guys competing in on the bus, the plane? Is there cards? Is it Uno? What are we looking at?
Okay, so you got half the team that's really into video games, the 2K, the Madden, and then you had another half that's really into poker.
Poker.
So,
Okay.
yeah. So I mean, we're a really good, really big poker team, and it all started. Funny story. It started with Justin McCoy. Justin McCoy taught me how to play poker, and then I taught the rest of the team. Justin McCoy taught me and TD, Torn Doran, how to play poker, and then it snowballed throughout the rest of the team.
So right now you got to pick one gamer. Who's the best video gamer on the team? And maybe yourself, because I assume you're going to pick you on the poker side since you taught everybody.
For sure.
Someone other than you on the poker side who's got the cards.
Man. Well, okay, best video gamer I would say is Breon Pass. Yeah.
Okay.
Breon Pass is, because the two
Breon Pass can do a little bit of everything. DJ Burns had him as the lead singer in his mythical, his imaginary band. Now you're calling him the best gamer. He's a Renaissance man.
Because the two games that everyone plays is 2K or Madden, and Breon is the only two-sport athlete that we have. That he played in high school. He played football in high school. So he's but he's really good at doing both. But poker, I would say, if not me, I would say either probably KJ Keats, because he has a really good poker face, like really, really good. You can't tell if he's bluffing or not.
Well, that's a coach thing, right? You can't tell.
I think that's where he gets it from. I think
coach
you don't know what's coming.
Coach has the poker face. Casey Morsell, NC State senior guard, joining us. Speaking of, you brought up two-sport athlete. I want to get your perspective on kind of the ACC as someone that's seen it from two different vantage points, right? With UVA and NC State.
Yep.
Does it feel weird that Stanford, Cal, and SMU are going to be a part of that in-conference rotation for ACC schools?
Yeah, I have no clue how that's going to work. I mean, strictly because just the time difference and just the. I don't know.
It's a lot of time for poker, traveling.
Yeah, there's a lot of time for poker. But also even for them, like just the style of play, like it's completely different than the Pac-12, the ACC. I mean, it's physical, man. It's a lot of a lot of tough battles in terms of guard play. And I think they'll adjust to it, but I think it'll take time.
The last one before we let you go, and we're going to kind of combine a few of the things we've talked about. You brought up how one of the things you want to focus on is being more aggressive on the offensive side and playmaking. And then you just touch on there that the ACC is a real physical lead, particularly on the perimeter.
Yep.
How do you prepare for a long season ahead with this being kind of it's the tip-off, right? The beginning of it all, knowing that you're going to have the ball more, and with that comes a little bit of physical punishment.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to value the details, man, the little things. I think it's the things that don't really require much talent that matter, right? Like how you take care of your body, how you approach the game. Are you watching film? Do you know your opponent better than the opponent knows themselves? That's another thing. But yeah, I mean, just, those details that don't really require talent, if you could just master those areas, that's kind of the niche to getting an advantage.
Casey, we appreciate you for taking the time to stop by. Good luck this season.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Once again, Casey Morsell, NC State senior guard here on 99.9.